photography, erotic photo shoots, and today's topic is about benefits. What kind of benefits couples and individuals get during the photo shoot, after the photo shoot, right? And even maybe before the photo shoot. Okay. So what is an erotic photo shoot for me? Okay, for me, it is a therapy act, right? People will get an information about who they are. Okay, literally, right? It's an X-ray. Why erotic photo should have benefits? Because most of the time people think that individuals and couples create erotic photo shoots only for fun. Okay, only for fun, for a hot and sexy experience, and of course for frisky memories. Okay, but this video is about erotic photo shoot benefits, and I will discuss a list of benefits that actually are there. Okay, so let me just start from the beginning. Okay, why I am saying photography is a therapy. You know that if you post a really hot and sexy picture of yourself, even on the Facebook, you would receive messages, right? Affirmations. People will say, "Wow, you look very hot. You look very sexy," and it will boost your self-esteem, right? So that's one way. Okay, when I'm saying that a photo shoot, erotic photo shoot, is a therapy. In most of the cases, people create erotic photography to actually boost the confidence inside of them as an adult, right? When you're an adult, right, you have a body, you have a mind, and you have emotional, spiritual state, right? So erotic photo shoot will represent that, your state, right? What is your mind state when you create erotic photography? Are you scared and feeling and being a child, a baby, right? Or are you confident and hot and sexy beast, right? If we talk about men, right, women like to see something very, brutal, right, or sensual, brutal. If we speak about ladies, of course, that is elegant and classic, right? Erotic photography can represent you in a different way, depending on your personality and depending on the photographer that you are working with. If the photographer is an artist, every photo shoot that he would create, it will be unique and individual, right? If the photographer is a standard photographer, then you will go on the website and you will see everyone will receive identical pictures, right? It means that the photographer knows a certain setup, it has an effective formula to sell, and they shoot everyone in the same format. Okay, so that's type of the photography. For me, erotic photography is an unknown adventure because every individual have a certain energy field. Okay, and we are tipping into sexuality. When I create erotic photography, like I say, I provide a certain therapy. It means that we are checking the state of the individual. What is a physical state and body image, right? What is a mental state? How the person feels before the photo shoot or during the photo shoot. Okay, and of course it is an emotional state, right? What kind of the feelings arises. And during that checkup, in terms of emotional state, people release a lot of blocks. Okay, those blocks are insecurities. These are the imperfections that you worry about, or human are worried about, or these imperfections come from someone else, right, as well, and you worry about. Okay, so today's topic is erotic photo shoot benefits, right? And you are, hi, hello. You can ask me questions. I am discussing this topic and I have ideas, okay, listed, and I would like to talk about, right? So erotic photography is my jam, and I am speaking today about benefits, okay? Because you see, it's not only about sexy pictures, right? There are different kind of photo shoots where you can come to the studio, undress, perform, and they take your picture, right? And that is an erotic photography. At my studio, you can have a totally different session. And like I say, erotica for me, it's a therapy. In general, sexual energy and erotic fantasies, it's a repair. Okay, repair mechanism of your mindset and of course of your traumatic experiences that happened in the past. Okay, and I will discuss this a little bit later. So photography is an x-ray. Okay, we use a photography in the medicine field, right? And we also use a photography for social representation, right? We take a picture and we post the picture anywhere online. Is it your business profile? Is it your how to say standard personal profile? We use photography, we use photos, right? We also take pictures on the camera, and these photos, which are successful shots, which are beautiful, right, it makes us feel better, right? You get that boost of confidence when you create great erotic photography. Okay, and what happens when you have really bad shots? When you have bad photography, you say, I am not photogenic, right? Or there is something wrong with me, or there is something wrong with the photographer. Yeah, that's what happens. Okay, so talking about the physical body image, right? There is an issue with that very often. When people create erotic photo shoot, they arrive to the studio and they have complaints about their body, right? It's too old, it's too saggy, it's too fat, it's too slim, it's, something not in the right place, the ears are too big, or the nose, too pointy, whatever people would find, they would find it, okay? Especially women are absolutely concerned and worry about their body, right? And when we create couple photo shoots, right, we work most of the time with the lady first, right, covering her imperfections, working with her. She would say what is wrong with her, and we will try to sort this out in the picture to make it invisible, right, to hide it, okay? Or we can work directly on the mental level. What that is, when people think that there is something wrong with them, right, it's a mental state, it's a certain coding, it's a certain information that they are living with, right? And it's just a forge, not necessarily it's the truth. You see, people can see themselves in the certain way, right? And that's not going to be the truth in the most of the cases. Why I'm saying is this, because when people arrive, they think that, oh, I'm not sexy. It's very hard to take a picture, of me. I'm not pretty, or I'm not this, or I'm not that. And the photographer's job is to prove that they are wrong. Okay? Because sexuality, you see, it's not depending on your age. It doesn't depend how you look. Okay? It doesn't matter what size you are. Okay? Sexuality, it's an energy, and you are sexy or not sexy. Someone is seeing you and fancying you, right? Someone, or not. Okay, no matter. You can be the most prettiest person, but if you do not display sexual energy and you not attract people, right, they do not see you. Okay, so that's the thing. So mind programming, right? What I do is I do mind programming by creating erotic photography from scratch. What that means is that I allow my clients to feel freedom. Okay. The absolute must is that they have to be themselves. Okay. They have to show who they are, who they truly are. That's the most important thing, right? When I'm creating erotic photography, it matters how you feel. Okay. It matters how you think. Okay. It matters how you look. It matters, right? Everything matters, right? So we're working with body, we're working with mind, and we're working with emotional state during erotic photo shoot. Imagine the person arriving with a certain opinion about themselves, right? And most of the time, majority has a certain opinion that came from someone else, right? And it's a very straightforward thing to think that I am fat, right? Very straightforward thing. There are people who would write to the photographer and say, I really would like a photo shoot, but I need to lose weight. Okay, I need to lose weight. You see, sexuality doesn't count you are 1 kilo less or you 1 kilo higher. Okay, sexual energy, you see it, or it's coming out of you or not, it doesn't matter, you know, how big you are. Okay, so that's an energy, that's a vibration. People confuse their body size with the sexuality. Okay, everyone can be sexy. You can be small, you can be big, you can be medium. Okay, for me, it's are you sexy or are you not sexy? Okay, so that's like I say, we work on the programming in their brain. When they go through the whole photo shoot, the acceptance of your body changes because you allow yourself to be in any pose. Okay, and there are posing where it's flattering, and there are posing where you feel or look awkward and you know, unattractive, right? And when I'm shooting, I am covering all the angles, you see. So why I'm saying it is an X-ray. When you're shooting, for example, taking picture in a hospital, right? X-ray goes through you and you can see what is inside your body, right? Depending on what you're x-raying, it's organs or it's bones, doesn't matter. So my photography is related with energy and sexual energy, and I could see on the picture, right? Is it sexy or is it not sexy, right? And if it's not sexy, we're looking into the issues why. Okay, and usually, like I say, issues are body image, mental image, right, or emotional state, right? Emotional state. There are three main factors that actually matter, right? And they are stopping the feeling of the freedom. They stopping that energy, sexual energy development and rising during the photo shoot. And of course, they're blocking that person from acting in a certain way and being themselves. Okay, being themselves. So what is the sexuality? What is the level of the sexuality when we create erotic photography? Usually people arrive with the low level of sexuality. Okay, and that's okay, that's normal. When you are scared and when you are nervous, and that's what happens when you do things first time. An erotic photo shoot for majority of my clients is a first time experience. Sexuality is not present because people are scared, right? That's an energy vibration I am accepting into my studio. People are nervous and people are scared. What they scared of? They scared that they will be exposed. They scared that someone identity issues, someone will see them. They scared that they will show their imperfections. They scared that they would not perform, okay, perfectly. They scared that they are not perfect. They scared that they are not in the control of their body, okay, and especially men, not control of their erection, right? They scared. And what else? There are many issues why they scare, but all these negative vibrations are not related to a confident and hot and sexy you. So when people experiencing these emotions, they can't be in the same time confident, right? So my job is to recognize the imperfections, to understand what kind of the emotions vibrate in that person's body, right? And our job to use certain techniques, testing methods, right? And to change this vibration into a confident, right? Personality. Confident and sexy. And it is possible to do it in a few hours, right? If I'm shooting models, they are able to put themselves into that mode instantly. The reason why models are so easy to perform is because they are dressing often in front of the strangers, right? They performing, okay, and they are more open-minded and relaxed when it comes to show themselves, right? They enjoy. There are people who lack of confidence and shy and embarrassed, and when they go to erotic photo shoot, right, everything feels strange and awkward, right? Strange and awkward to them. So what I'm saying is that very often you see people stay alone or stay lonely because they think that there is something wrong with them. Okay, in the back of their mind, there is some kind of a program running, a thought through their head that, there is something wrong with them, right? And it can happen in a different situation. So woman can give birth and her body is changed and she automatically doesn't feel as she used to, the same, right? The guy could go into, I don't know, a depression or addiction or whatever, right? Can happen. Doesn't matter. Someone said something, okay, and it's stuck, right? Different things happen, but when there is something wrong with you or you think that there is something wrong with you, your body thinks that you are ill. And when you are ill, reproduction system is completely switched off and you naturally not seeking, okay, not seeking any contact, any intimacy, any sensual adventures or adult games, or or looking into creating anything or doing for yourself, right? And that's why these programs which are running in the back of our mind, that there is something wrong with us or something wrong with other people, as well, right? Stopping us, and people stay lonely. Okay, people stay lonely by themselves, right? So erotic photo shoot, the first maybe significant benefit is not only that you can do a therapy, which usually if you go to psychology, it takes years and years for you to discover who you are, truly are, right? What kind of the ego you have inside, what kind of the alter egos live inside of you, right? How do you look, right? How you represent yourself, how you value yourself, how you love yourself, okay? Why you think that there is something wrong, okay? What kind of the thoughts and ideas are coming into your head while you're performing intimate moments with yourself, right? When you're shooting, what kind of the voices are telling you to stop, or what is wrong with you, or or something worries you, or there are so many things that will bring into the surface, will come into the surface while you creating erotic photo shoot with someone else. Okay, it is not a standard session while you're sitting with your psychologist and without any action, without any movement, just chit chat, right? So erotic photo shoot benefit is a transformation, a real reprogramming transformation by taking an action which is a risky, which is a novelty, which is unusual and challenging action. Okay, challenging action towards your body, towards your mind, and towards your emotional state. Okay, because it will trigger, right? It will trigger you. Sometimes I don't need even to do anything, just to go through the shoot. People release that information verbally, or they release it through the actions and movements, okay? Because what we do is we create, we use imagination, and we intuition during erotic photo shoot, right? Intuitively, you will be touching yourself, playing with yourself. And at that time, when I'm taking a picture, right, information keep will be playing on your hard drive, and that information is the source for you to work with during your therapy session. You see, because when I create erotic photo shoots from A to Z, There is so many pictures and there is so many information there, right? And I'm saying erotic photo shoot, it's not about only pictures and undressing and getting turned on and going into kinky and risky mode. No, you're meeting alter egos in there, right? And you meeting all the voices that, how to say, stuck very deep inside you. They coming out, right? And then you understand what is your worry, what is your issue, okay? What kind of the, you know, mental state you acquire, because when people are not nervous and when they're not scared and when they actually feel excited to do something new, to do something sexy, they are absolutely mentally healthy. And when I have these individuals or couples after erotic photo shoot, I tell them in the face that you are very healthy couple. Okay, very healthy couple. That they did not, they really enjoyed and they've been excited about the shoot and they completed all the scenes and fantasies they wanted, didn't look back. Okay, so there are people who are in trouble and worry about erotic photography. Okay, and there are people who are actually excited about the experience, excited to know about themselves as an individual and as a couple. Okay, because when something new happens, it's unpredictable, it's unknown, right? And when we speak about erotica, it's an adventure, it's a journey, it's a repair, it's a reboost, it's a revamp of your system. Okay, and when people are together, when they married or when they're in the friendship, they get familiar, they know each other so well. Okay, seriously, it is very hard to desire something what you already have. That is why erotica brings new, right? New adventures, people trying new things, right? That's why an adult games, we have props, we have toys, we have sexy outfits, right? We even have fetishes, we have BDSM adventures, we have so many things, adults, that we can do, okay? If we are being ourselves and we are not scared, right? So the most and foremost, the benefit is when you are confident. Because when you are confident and you know it, and this is the program when it's running inside of you, others know it too, right? The life changes when you're living a confident life. The life is different when you're confident about your actions, right? And about your emotions, okay? There was a moment when a few days ago, was on the TikTok, and there was one person who was telling me that he's lonely and he fed up of being lonely, right? What should I do? He asked me, okay? And here and now, people, when they are confused, right? When they're lonely and they're confused, they don't know what to do next, okay? And they are adults. I want to tell one thing, okay? That adults from children, okay, differ in one thing, that you see, children don't know, children scared, children wait for someone to do it for them. Okay, that's the child's energy, right? And adults' energy to go and find a way. And they know if they go and find a way, they will do it, right? There is always information there, first to find out how, and then go and take an action. Okay, so that's how it is. So I think that erotic photography, okay, for someone will be an absolutely new thing to explore, and they can do it by themselves, to do that research, to do that therapy on a sexual level, right, with themselves, or they of course can go and see professional, right, to go and book a studio and work towards amazing project, what involves erotic photo shoot, right? Erotic photo shoot. There are erotic photo shoot with limitations, okay? And that means that you're not necessarily allowed to create anything really sexual, but perform and act out, pretending, going into a certain posing, right? And there is another type of photo shoot which I practice is no limits photo shoot. Okay, it means that we discuss the scenario, and I can create any erotic fantasy on any shoot. Okay, any shoot. Make love scenarios, playing with yourself, any kind of fantasy, right? And that's amazing. Yeah, when you create erotic photo shoot with limitations. I'm going to continue a bit later. Let me say hello, hi. Okay, I can see here and I can see here, hi, hello. And today I'm today I'm answering questions about erotic photo shoots and discussing erotic photo shoot benefits. Benefits for individual, okay, and benefits for couples. So for individual, I can tell straight away that that's gonna be sorting, like I say, mental state, physical state, right, and emotional state. What that is, if you write programs running through your mind and through your body, you will not be worried about that you don't look well, okay? You will be happy the way you look. You will be happy the way you feel, right? And you will be confident about yourself, okay? What you're doing next and how you're living. And of course, it leads to an amazing, happy life when you are confident and you know, right? So that's the benefit for couples. You see, that's an adventure. That's an experience. That's a discovery of themselves, right? And also trying new things as a couple, as a unit, right? So erotic photo shoot allow you to do a lot of role play scenarios and experiment and see your partner in a totally different light. If you think that you know each other very well, right? And you think that your relationship may be gone stale, I recommend to do an erotic photo shoot. Okay, the excitement will be back into your life. Okay, so let me just quickly say hi. And I'm going to continue a topic about erotic photo shoot benefit, what it does. Okay, what it does. First, like I say, it's a therapy. I take it as a therapy, okay, because people don't know who they are. They know who they are, do not like who they are, do not like how they look, okay, and just don't like in general what they do, where they work or where they live. You know, there are many things around it, right? Hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, hello. Thank you. Lips, right? Okay, beautiful. Show us a demonstration. Show us a demonstration. That's a good question. Okay, demonstration time. Okay, demonstration time. Julie is preparing for a demonstration. Okay, Julie is creating. To be fair, it's not that I'm creating. I'm moving adult content to my Telegram private channel. And I will open online galleries for visitors so they could see erotic photography, woman category, men category, couples category, adult movies category, threesome category, gifts category, and movie stills category, right? Over 20 years I've collected enormous amount of artwork, and past few years I've been looking for retouchers who would be helping me to edit those galleries, prepare those galleries, and of course load it for previews, right? I have failed to find those editors. I still work with some editors here in the studio, but my artwork will be edited by me. Okay, so that's why it takes so long, right? It takes so long, but I am going to start in the next week, in a week or so, okay? And today I'm going to make a blog on my website and people can sign Yes, and I will be accepting registrations for adults galleries, right? So Julia is starting sex art galleries online. Why? Because you see, public in general, we grow up on a corn industry presentation. Corn industry was created by men, right? By men who wanted an easy fantasy development, right? Easy fantasy development. So the woman is always wanted, always ready, always, happy to open up, right? That kind of a situation in the core. In real life, that's not happening. Between men and women, there is always a conflict. Men need to be in a conflict to grow, right? And woman is challenging men all the time, right? Evolution happens. Okay, so when I'm creating corn scenarios at my studio, energy levels are at the lowest. Okay, at the lowest. It's just doing things situation, which is also brings a certain stimulus, okay, to the viewers. I don't know how much of the corn you're watching now, but like I say, people still creating a lot of content, right? The content is based not on love, not on passion, not on desire, okay? None of that. Coding is there, okay? They meet, okay? They get turned on, right? And they go into a mode, sexual drive mode, and they create the content. It's a different energy. When I create with couples, okay, who are together, no matter what kind of experience they have, okay, and no matter how long they are together, right? It's never boring for me in the studio. It's very sexy. It's always turn on, right? And I'm shooting basically with couples. I am shooting extremely lot, like seriously. I create a lot because novelty, new moves, new experiences, right? With couples. When I'm shooting content for corn, okay, after 1 hour I'm getting bored, and after 2 hours I already don't want to do it. Okay, so I don't shoot and I do not create for adult businesses content for more than 2 hours. Okay, I don't do longer sessions, but with couples I do. Okay, with couples I do. So that's the thing. Okay, so demonstration is going to arrive very soon, and I will create posts, but now it's an official announcement that I am creating erotic galleries, and I started to load the content for people to get an education. Okay, so corn was used in most of the how to say people, from most of the people, just to know more, okay, to see the fantasies, to see how the others doing, right? That's exactly a similar idea I have. I just believe that people who are not models and not looking to create a content for fame or for money, produce a different energy. So you would get a totally different feel, okay, and different coding through your brain. And I am positive that it will initiate the change inside you by looking. You don't need even to do anything. You see how I've thought about this, that the codes are in my artwork, right? And when people create the artwork, every art is made to make you feel something, okay? Then it's the art. Okay, art is created to raise your emotional evolution levels, right? Intellectually, to bring you up, right? So that's what I'm doing. I believe that the adults who grow up on a totally different understanding, they will see the best examples that are there on this planet, because people to my studio arrive from the all of the world, okay? New Zealand, I know this is US channel, from US, from Asia, from Europe, from anywhere, okay? From anywhere, even from Ukraine. Even from Ukraine, they arrived and do an erotic photo shoot. So from everywhere, right? And what they do is they share they share love with me, and I am able to capture and preserve this energy. And I have a source of a specific art that I am going to open a gallery for you that you can have an access. Okay, so that is demonstration is coming. Okay, and I will show you. When I'll start showing, you see, I can't show everything, right? So I will load a little bit, like a 1% of that 100% that I have, because I have a lot, okay? And I will be slowly bringing more and more and more content to my galleries, okay? So we will grow every month, higher and higher, bigger and bigger, okay? That's what I want. And you will get injection from the real art, from the real sex art made by me, okay? Can you look? Now when I'm discussing the art and I'm discussing the value, the benefits of erotic photography, there is a guy who has no profile picture, so he is not identified. The person who is not showing their face on their profile pictures, they're scared to admit who they are. Okay, that's the first thing. So someone who has identity issues at this particular moment when I am telling you about my erotic galleries, thinking about this. Can your lips touch your nose? Imagine. Can you imagine that brain development? Okay? Can you imagine? Very clever brain here. Very clever brain. Okay, let me just say hi, hello to say hi. Okay, can I be host? Yes, yes, I will be inviting everybody, okay, to see the art galleries, of course. You mean the host? You mean the host? You mean the host with me? No, you can be the viewer, okay? You can visit my galleries. The host could be the person who knows something about erotica. Okay, if you have a knowledge in erotic photography or erotic videos, your profession is related to this topic. Maybe you do a psychology, okay? Maybe you are practicing sexology, okay? Maybe you're, a sex coach, maybe something. So if you are related, okay, to my topic, then you can be a host with me, right? The other cases will be dismissed. I love how you winning. I don't really think I'm winning, okay? I'm just being me, okay? I'm just being me. Your skin is glowing, that's true, okay? That's true. You can tell, thank you to MAC, okay? I use MAC Glow, okay? So it's glowing. Will you marry me? Interesting. Okay, so today I am answering questions about erotica and erotic photo shoots. Okay, and I'm discussing benefits while you create erotica, right? What it does for you, how it transforms your understanding about yourself, how you look, how you feel, how sexy you are, how brave you are, okay, and so on and so on. Confident. There is a lot of things in there, okay? So your camera messed up. Well, well, my camera, I like it. I'm not, you see, I'm not trying to be crazy professional with my camera. I'm shooting on the phone, okay? So I do not have very, big requirements here. If I would be filming with a professional camera, it would look differently, but who cares? Okay, I think the information is more important at this moment, right? When I'm shooting professionally photography, then yes, okay, the lighting, okay, the settings, everything, goes in. But when I'm doing expront live, okay, it is what it is. Right, morning future wife. You see, okay. Right. I think I'm gonna marry someone in US. That's why this is not me who created TikTok channel in US. I just hired some social media professionals and they did it. Okay. And they did it. And I don't mind chatting with you. Right? You are on the other continent, but I don't mind. I am 22, but I am whatever you want me to be. 22, you have the whole life ahead of you, okay? Are you located? Me and my girl want to book you. London, okay? I am based in London. I am based in London, but because I'm going to be working online, I will start online course for people who would like to learn erotic photography and people who would like to go through Eros transformation course, okay, which will be also online, and people who would like to look at sex art galleries, which will be memberships online. I don't mind going live on US channel, okay? I don't mind. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. The only way you can book me is you can buy a ticket, fly to London, and visit my studio. Okay, and that's the option I have for you. Right, okay, hi, hello, hi, hello. Thank you, you're sending me a lot of diamonds. So many diamonds you're sending. Okay, where can we see the model selection you have? That's a very good question. Okay, so I am going photoshoot benefits. Photoshoot benefit is this. Yes, you can hire a model at my studio because I am in adult business since 2005. Okay, I work with a lot of models who are in my books. Okay, who are in my books, and they are available to shoot and they can join my clients, right? Individuals, men or women, or couples, okay? And the thing is with this selection, right? I will explain you how it works and you would understand then. Right, so adult agencies have a list, a selection, a gallery of models, and you can pick, right? And because I've been working with agencies, I can tell you, you book a blonde girl, imagine you select a blonde girl, right? And she has the size, for example, C, her dress size is 10, right? She is like maybe 5.7 foot, whatever, right? This is something what you book. If this girl is not available, the agency will tell that this is her, but they will book you another lady. Okay, that's how it's working. Okay, so on my website there is a page for models, right? And these are just samples. They were real models. Some of them moved to another country, some of them retired, doesn't matter. The models are actually very active individuals, right? People who travel a lot, people who, if I am, for example, having a booking with her, right, and she is getting the same day booking, which is double price, she can cancel me. You understand how it works, right? So I'm always booking a model before the photo shoot 1 or 2 weeks because I don't want to rebook and I don't want any cancellations, right? So when you go and look at the website, because I am not an agency and models are not checked in with me every day, I just have a sample of models that you can have, right? And then I can give you a similar option. Okay, it depends on the day you're booking. It depends on the service, what you want to receive on the day. Okay, and depends on the model. So imagine you saying, okay, I'm going to book October 24th. I have to go and check who is in London on that date. Okay, because I don't have them in my wardrobe. They're not hanging there that I could just quickly get and show you, right? So I need to know who is there. What is the point to show you all the models if no one is available? Okay, so I have to check specific date who is available. Then I have to check on your specific service because not everyone working with the couples, not everyone is doing everything what you like. Okay, so depending on the service and then depending on the price. Okay, so now at the moment, because it's a lot of hassle with hiring the models, providing all the information, imagine what the studio does. So when the couple or individual is booking a model for hot and sexy shoot, yeah, it is a photography shoot or it is a video shoot, okay, or it is both, right? I am going and talking to every model and saying who is available on that day. Then they coming back, then I'm explaining about the shoot, right? Then we have a conversation and agreement on what they want to do or what they don't want to do or how much they charge extra. I am the one who is agreeing on the price and discussing everything on your behalf, okay? Try and find a model for yourself in London. You will burn a lot of calories. I can tell you. There are so many clients who would say, oh, I'm going to find someone cheaper, and never did. Okay? And there are clients who booked the models and they did not turn up. Okay? That's another thing. Okay? Which can happen to you. So when I am booking a model, it's 100% reliable. Okay, I am making sure a few days before that they're ready. I am making sure the day before that they're dressing right, that they're healthy, that they are have all the checks, tests done. Okay, I'm like checking. It's a lot of work. Okay, booking a model and higher. It's a lot of, going back and forward. It's not straightforward. I'm not getting them of my wardrobe, like I say, right? People, they want to know exactly, right? They want to know exactly what the service and stuff. So I'm going into details, like seriously. What we're doing, what kind of this, how they're gonna come, many things, right, involved. So booking the model. So I prefer to work with premium models because with premium models we are more flexible, okay, when it comes to no limits photo shoots. You understand? So different models provide a different service. You can book a dress gown. If you have this fantasy or a fetish, for example, men naked and the woman is dressed, right? Or you have a preference, nothing very fancy, but she has to be in lingerie, like something beautiful and so on. But majority wants full-on service, okay? Because they know they will get turned on, okay? And they don't want to stop. So they're booking an escort model. There are escort models, there are tantric models, and there is, of course, dominatrix models. Okay, and there is a different dominatrix experience which is a fake, which is, will dress and say something, and just pretend that she is slapping you or something. And there is dominatrix who will beat you to serious bruises. Seriously, like, you can have a session and the whole month you will be healing. That kind of a session you can have. So different models provide a different service, my darling, okay? And I do not have specific selection. You just go and see the sample of that, and that, right? But when you are booking, and I am not going and finding any model without a deposit, okay, this is not possible. People have to pay a deposit in advance, and only then I'm going and finding the model. Okay, the chance that I'm gonna find the model is 99%, right? Because of the industry that we have, 99%. If I am not able to find your model, I will give you a full refund. You understand? But I'm not going into agency without any deposit because they would not look serious. I would not look serious, right? I say I have a client, he paid the deposit, I need this and this gal, size this, looks this, service this, and then, that happens. Also with the models, there are two options. One, like I say, there are models which I know, and there are models with the agency, okay? And I always sell models with the agency because they are top notch. Top notch. Yeah, there are people who want a model, they want, like seriously, drop dead gorgeous lady, right? That's an escort on the agency, right? I have more low-key girls. I'm not saying they're not pretty, okay? Different price, but I prefer models from the agencies is just working well. Okay, next question. I hope I answered, yeah? So don't have that. I don't have, you know? I don't have. You can go on London Models website. You can look as much as you want. Okay, you can find the models. But I told you as well, not necessarily all these models will be there available. This is just for show. Okay, not necessarily, you know, majority, but not. And for me, it's important which date, you know, which date you are booking. Only then I can reveal the model who is available, because I don't know if these people are in London on that day or not. But I'm able to find you any kind of model, right? I need an unlimited budget. I like to work with unlimited budget because I believe that unlimited shoots deserve an unlimited budget. That's fair, right? It is very hard for me to design the shoot when we have an unlimited ideas, fantasies, list huge, and then we have a very tiny unlimited budget. Most of the time I would decline these shoots, okay, because it's hard just to go forward with this. Okay, next question. Hello, Mama Mia. I don't know who is Mama Mia. Today I'm discussing about erotic photoshoot and the benefits of the photography, erotic photography. You sound Latvian. Very well. Interesting. I am from Lithuania, and this is a sister country in the neighborhood, right? So you are very, very close. I am from that side, very close, okay? What's up? We make customs rugs and we would like to do business. This is erotic photography studio, creates photography and videos, okay, for adults only, right? Adults only. So we are here to discuss a creative matters, right? What creative, right? Creative. Okay, people, you see, when they're growing up, they forget that the creative powers are evolutional powers, right? We develop, we evolve when we create. And that we do very successfully when we are children. Okay, what we do, we always create, we play, we develop ourselves, right? When we turn adults, we forget that we have these amazing powers, creative powers. Okay, one more question. How do you set up the environment to make couples comfortable? How do I set up environment? I switch on Julia mode. Okay, Julia mode is this. Julia, when she started her career, okay, she became a head chef. Okay, so she's very bossy in the kitchen, making menus very quickly, okay, cooking hot and spicy, sexy stuff in her kitchen, okay, telling everyone what to do. So she already knows who is the boss in the studio, right? Gives directions to the couple. Then the second topic is my medical background. You see, Julia studied medicine for 7 years. In 3 years, she was in medical industry in a hospital. She worked a lot with people who are taking clothes off, touching naked people. You know, when I studied medicine, we were working 2 years in a prosectorium where there were corpses and we had to remove all the tissues from the dead bodies, you know, with the scalpel, of course. So I'm very much aware of the human factor and of the nude body, right? So I'm from the medical field, right? And then when I arrived to London, I've changed my profession and I moved to adult business. And you see, in adult business, what I done is I watched how people create sexual fantasies and do these type of things. You see, I get used to, right? So I have an energy, just a second. So after adult business, being so long in there, I have a certain energy vibration that people are comfortable. not only to undress, not only to discuss and have an intimate conversations with you, with me, they're happy to share all the secrets and tell me all the fantasies, you know. It's just something what I do naturally. When they are in my field, they can perform. And you see, erotic photography, it's not about posing, it's not about lighting, it's not about background, it's not. Erotic photography is about that person going further than he ever thought that he could go during the photo shoot. You know, everyone comes with the idea, oh, that I will create this, but I'm not sure, can I do this? It's not, you know, it's not things. I am draining them dry, you know. The things what they do with me, they would never do with anyone else. That's the thing, you know. So that's all my powers. Don't do much, it's natural. I've been gifted. That's why I am pursuing this career, because it's just no brainer. It's natural. I don't have to even think. When I'm shooting, I don't check the settings, I don't check the lightings, I don't do any of that. Okay? It comes from the source, from the field. And every photo shoot that I create is different. I don't have the same pictures ever taken because I don't know the settings. I do it by the way I feel, and that information I receive as soon as the couple or individual arrives to the studio. I know. I just look at that person, I straight away receive information into my my computer, what kind of a representation I can show that person about him or about that couple, what kind of things I'm going to make, right? And every time I shoot, the galleries will be my proof, because it's not going to be boring. Okay, watching Julia's sex art galleries, it's not going to be boring, because she is shooting, you know, just all over the place. Everything is all over the place, right? It's not going to be the same. No, no, no. I'm not going to get bored. Okay. And my job, you see, because I am getting bored very quickly, I can't shoot, you know, a few minutes on the same setting. I have to change. Okay. For me, shooting in the studio, it's the biggest adventure ever. First of all, I don't know who will arrive. I don't know people's energy. But during the booking period, I kind of have an understanding and feeling of them. Okay, so we do have an introduction for each other. Then we have a consultation before the shoot, so they are not scared and they're not worried, because they need, you know, to go on the stage and perform and do. Every setting we create, I explain them. I even show them what to do with my personal experience, you see. I can represent feminine vibe as well as I can show masculine. Okay, there are men who do not know how to be in a masculine vibe. Seriously. I am showing a man how to be a brutal man sometime. I don't know. I can show you, you will see I'm very convincing. Okay? I'm very good at this. Right? So that's how it is. That's how it is. I'm not, you know, I'm not trying very hard. Okay? The only time when I'm trying, when I have very big, rich project, right? That's when I try. But usually I have standard shoots. I'm not prepared or anything. I don't care. I just go with the flow. It's a freestyle. You see, when you create art, okay, you have to feel it. And you have to be intuitive, right? And lead your couple or individual into certain things, right? So my goal, of course, is to push the limits, right? To cross the boundaries, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm provoking people in the studio, and of course I'm encouraging them, motivating them in the same time, right? It's it's very interesting experience. People never had such an experience, but when they do, I can tell you, they say they don't care about the pictures. It's already worth it. after the whole shoot, it's already worth it. So I'm very glad, that that's what's happening. Okay, last question is this. Oh, it's the same person is asking questions. Someone is very interested. Okay, so is it better for the couple to come with the concept or leave it to you? Is it better or not? I can tell you, the energy source will define. You can plan whatever you want. We can discuss certain things we're shooting, but when we go into the studio, I am making sure that they are in that creative energy. You see, sexuality, okay? Eros energy, because we create humans during that time, right? We create so many things. Our projects, huge projects, they're our babies too, right? So sexuality is the part of the confidence, okay? And if you're confident to create something, right, you do not need a plan, it just happens, right? You just go in, dive into that mode. So that's what I do. Most of the time, I am making sure that they would lose their plan and start doing things what they feel. And that's the energy, okay? When they confused, when they worry, when they lost, okay, they're off energy. So first of all, what we're doing, we're putting them on the creative energy. And then they start doing things that we even did not discuss. And that's the problem for me, okay? Because what I am doing is this. Imagine people, very conservative, thinking that they will do, I don't know, vanilla stuff, right? Make love scenario, romantic and something, so on, right? And Julia goes with them into the studio to create that. But I can boost them to the point that they would take a whip and start hitting each other and choking each other, restricting each other, and just it goes out of the hand. It is all sexy. I allow everything. But by the shoot, how we finished, we started somewhere minimalistic, right? And after the shoot, when it progressed to an enormous level. Imagine we're doing, you see, people, they don't understand. They ask me about the price. How much is the price for a video for 1 hour? And I'm explaining. There is a video for 1 hour when you are kissing, a foreplay, normal standard things, make love scenarios. And when you're doing anal for 1 hour, right? It's two different videos, right? And you don't know if these people will be into that, not into that. They suddenly, can do many things, right? You can't stop this and say, okay, this is out of the budget now. Because Julie is promoting unlimited shoes. So she is pushing the boundaries so far that most of the time it's out of the hand and out of the plan. And that's how it's supposed to be in erotica. Okay, you can't just plan the orgasm. You can't plan the climax, okay? It's naturally reaching a certain height, right? Naturally reaching a certain height, and you don't know how high it will go. That's the erotica. That's the real shoot, okay? So when I say we have a concept, yes, there are people who do it by the rules, by the plan, and by the concept. But is it the real erotica? No. It's not art. I can tell you, we can create naked pictures with just bringing people. Oh, just a second. I have to charge my phone. Okay, we can bring people into the studio, take their clothes off, and take a picture of their private parts and told them to hug each other, right? And it will look like they are, maybe whispering, maybe caressing, maybe, cuddling and so on. But it's just, people stacked with each other, feeling nothing at that moment. That's not a real erotica. That's a corn situation, what we are proposing here, okay? And it takes time to go into that energy field for every person in a different phase. It takes time. You can't just, so now I'm sitting here, I'm still here with sexual energy, right? But there are different energy levels, okay? So imagine straight away I'm getting turned on. Okay? And when I am turned on, my eyes are closed. Like majority of people, right? What they do. Yeah? You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so that's the thing. I want to move away from the plan. We have a plan for the safety reasons because the brain cannot operate, on a chaotic phase. But erotica and art, it's that. Okay, so I am making sure. Sorry, I'm making sure that we are creating real erotica because I know how to make it. I'm an artist. Okay, and I'm leading my people towards that. This is the data and this is the valuable content. Why? Because later when you look at this, you can charge yourself up from that real energy that you left for yourself. When you've created those moments into those memories which are valuable with me, right? And you are old and you think you're getting old and your energy resources, draining down. You can look and charge up yourself. That's why we have corn, okay? To educate, to stimulate, yeah? But people sometimes making their own stuff, right? There is on this planet people, it was said in the school, right? In the school, different classes. Some already in the college and some already in the university. Okay, so those who are just on the first grade, they will never do erotica. Okay, the mind is not allowing. All they think is about money and how to survive. Okay, but there are different grades and different classes out there, right? And there are people who want to feel free, want to understand who they are, want to get that information, how to extract that information. I am explaining during erotic photoshoot, it comes out naturally because you're getting triggered in the way you never been triggered anywhere. Okay, it comes out. You can read about yourself and then you can reprogram yourself, re-edit. And like I say, erotic it's a repair. When you're using your erotic fantasy, you think you're fixing traumatic experiences in your past, making stronger yourself, right? So the last question today is again from a same person. Yes, I understand. Come with the concept, but allow the energy of the moment to create a connection. Yes, that's the main thing. Because if this is not happened, okay, then it's not really a successful photo shoot, right? When we look at the artwork and we go to the galleries, right, there are different kind of artworks, and some are stronger than the others, okay? Although you see it's a beautiful picture and stuff, right? But some, it just makes you feel something, okay? And because I've been painting, that's another hobby I had. I've been painting oil on the canvas. And I've been painting very young. I've been thinking about this, how to code the picture, how to put, the energy in it, how these artists, okay, in the past did it, right? Been practicing this for more than 20 years now, okay, so I can see in the image. But it's not important what I can see, okay, because there are things what I cannot see, okay? But that person who is creating a picture is creating a picture for himself. This is his codes, this is his information, this is his formulas and blocks are in there, okay? And when I'm shooting an image, in his head there is a certain information that runs through his mind and through his body. And at that moment, when I am capturing that picture, after 10 years he would look at that picture, he will remember, because his mind is connected. We have a memory files. At that moment he was feeling this way, and you are able to extract that picture. It is also very beneficiary when, imagine you creating a photography of yourself and of your couple and you are healthy, and through some time, something happens and you get ill. You will have yourself in a state when you are absolutely healthy. You can use that artwork to reprogram your brain to go back to your healthy self state. Can you imagine? That's why I'm saying that photography is a therapy. Okay, and you can do many things with it if you know how, right? So that's the thing. Thank you so much for this video. I had a topic about erotic shoot benefits. I just touched few because there are many of them to talk about, right? The most important, of course, when people have no confidence, right? When people have no confidence, they think that they do, okay? They think that they do. But then, when they ask me, I am lonely and I don't know what to do, I understand that these programs are running, okay? We load ourselves every day into the same game, okay? Every day we're loading ourselves and seeing the same, similar image. So at the same time, the same programs are running through your head. So you are like a masterpiece of the programs that are installed in your body, and humans as a robots, they don't know how to reprogram themselves, right? But they find already many ways how to challenge, how to stimulate. It is not a straightforward thing to change the program. Okay, so thank you so much. Love you, kiss you, mean it. Until the next time, every time you will see me, I will be talking about photography and videography for adults. Okay, what's happening in the studio, what's happening with the individuals, okay, behind the scenes. And of course, I will discuss erotic fantasies. I can discuss the boudoir photo shoot, glamour photo shoot, nude photography, explicit photography, and erotic photo shoots without limitations. And that means is including intimacy, right? Making love scenes, okay, and scenarios. That's what I do at my studio in London. Thank you for watching, and I hope I see you soon. Bye bye.